Good morning and welcome. I'm Asphodel Phoenix, and today we will be doing Breath of the Wild in Master Mode, and it is Dragon Day. So we'll be farming Farosh and trying to get Dinraal's horn, and maybe even do a little prepping to meet Nadra. So basically the purpose of this is that my favorite tunic is upgraded with dragon horns. And so we're going to be working on getting those dragon horns and also silent princesses, but those are pretty easy to come by. So that's basically the purpose of what we're doing. But there are some things that we also need to do before we can even do the first part of our project. So one of the things I want to do is I want to check that stash of weapons near Riola Tower and see if it has replenished. It does respawn. So I'm going to head over there. It's where that star is. I'm going to head over there. Fortunately, it's not too chilly up here right now. And the weapon that I'm going to be wanting, usually, for what I'm doing next, is the sledgehammer. But my sledgehammer is unfortunately red and flashing, which means that it's about to break. So I am instead going to go for a spear, which I got out of this very cave. And we will probably encounter some wolves up here, and my bombs are not upgraded yet, so my bombs are not really taking care of the wolves. Hi, Father Evan. How are you today? Yes, we're doing Breath of the Wild, and we're doing dragons today. I'm going to go farm Farosh, but I'm getting a Gerudo bow first, I hope. Dragons in Breath of the Wild, yes. Farosh, Dinraal, and Nadra. We probably won't get to Nadra today. Do you know about this stash of weapons, Father Evan? This is one of my favorite places to go in the early game, but unfortunately it has not respawned yet. Oh well. Basically, what you get in this particular cave, thankfully this is not Skyrim, so I don't have to worry about having come here. It's not going to reset. What you get here is you get the Radiant Shield, and you get the Golden Bow, and you get the spear that I'm using, the Edge of Duality, and the Moonlight Scimitar. Those are the weapons that spawn in this cave, and they do respawn throughout the game, usually after the Blood Moon, and I could have sworn that I had a Blood Moon, but apparently not. So now I'm going to go and try to get a flaming blade. And I believe it's on this side of the central tower. I'm doing this without having this whole area filled in because the central tower is not one of the ones you want to do early in the game. But I'm hoping that I can get, let's see, I'm hoping that I can, I'll go up here. No, I'll stick around here. I'm hoping that I can find it. It's along the river to the left. So I'm hoping I can find it without having to look it up. And let's see. So we're going to be going into Central Hyrule, which is not a great place. And I believe that that is Central Tower right there. And where we want to go is there's a shrine somewhere near here, over on this side somewhere. So I want to make sure that I've got my shrine sensor set for shrines. It is set for silent princesses, so let's put it back on shrines. I can navigate how to reach that place if I can get to the shrine. I'm not hearing it go off yet. So let's go to a high place. Ah! I see the shrine right over there. I'm not going to actually do the shrine right now. I'm just going to open it up. Ooh. Okay, sorry. I have this royal blade from the top of Woodland Tower. It's another respawning weapon. And you can get it very early in the game if you manage to get up to Woodland Tower. And I think I showed you how to do that either last time or the time before. an easy way to get to the top of Woodland Tower without having to fight the enemies. It's kind of funny because in Skyrim you put your weapon away using Y, and here you just hit things using Y, so sometimes I'm trying to put my weapon away and I end up hitting things. Okay, we're just going to open this tower and not actually do it. But this should give me... Oh, the blue light is on at Satori Mountain. I don't usually jump around like this, but in the rain, it's a way that I've discovered that you can usually get up to places. But there's a big moblin over there. So the blue light's on at Satori Mountain. That's pretty cool. And let's get over to that other rise. There it is. There's a great flame blade over here, and I'm going to steal it. But I'm going to put on Majora's Mask first. I need to drop a weapon. That was not exactly how I wanted that to go. Oh, that's totally not how I wanted it to go. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. This is a comedy of errors. Let's get the Great Flame Blade. There we go. And I even missed the Korok ring. Let's try that again. Well, this will make for a funny blooper reel. But one thing this did do was it proved the utility of Majora's Mask. None of those enemies hit me. It doesn't work against all enemies. It doesn't work against Octoroks. It doesn't work against Choo-Choos. It doesn't work against stall monsters. There we go. And it sometimes doesn't work against Lynels. So you have to be careful. But now I've got a Great Flame Blade. Okay. And none of the enemies has hit me yet. I'm going to go over to Dueling Peaks Tower. And I am going to try to get up to the top of Dueling Peaks, to the shrine up there. And I'm going to change back into my climber's bandana. That's actually an abandoned bokoblin fort. I've never seen an actual bokoblin there. Most of this is a fairly low-grade incline until the end. So hopefully I'll be able to make it. Although this is a fairly steep one. Not what I wanted to be happening right now. Trying to think of another way to get to where I want to go. This is the most obvious way. Where I want to be going is I want to be going to Faron. And I want to be taking the back way into Riola Spring, because that's where Farosh spawns. I'm almost there. If only this rain would let up a little bit. Well, that was not good. I shouldn't have tried that. I was almost to the top. Looks like it's starting to let up. Will the piano play? There it is. I'm going to mark this because I think it's Korok related. Well, the rest of this should be pretty straightforward because by the time I get to some more real climbing, it's going to be too cold to rain. So the Sheikah sensor just went off. Looks like we found the shrine. If this were Tears of the Kingdom, I would be bringing out a pot right now and cooking what few Endura carrots I have. But it's Breath of the Wild. And I don't have that quality of life improvement. But it looks like I made it to the top anyway. Or almost to the top. Okay. I think they try to make these stamina challenges pretty straightforward at the beginning. I think that this is supposed to be an early shrine, a relatively early shrine, because it's in the Dueling Peaks area. And there will be I'll take care of it with the almost broken spear, because there are stall monsters up here. And here they are. Korok leaves, so useful. I was so happy when I downed that tree on the Great Plateau and found that it was dropping Korok leaves. Okay, so I'm going to go up here first. Well, actually, I'm going to go up here. And I'm going to do this Korok. Which is just put an apple in there. I found it really interesting in Kakariko Village that they had the frog-shaped statues, which are which you see in the Gerudo area, except they're kind of blindfolded, I think, there. But I found that very interesting because it kind of shows that lineage. Now let's see, where's the other shrine? I may as well open that one too while I'm at it. I'm not going to do these right now, but I may come back to them today. Okay, so the shrines at the top of Dueling Peaks are open. And I'm going to go back up here one more time. Because, like I said, I want to go in the back door to Riola Spring. I didn't kill it, but I got it out of my way. Okay. Now, doing this at nighttime is a little more complicated. But there's Faron. I don't have the Faron area open yet. But I'm heading somewhere in this direction. So let's see. And I'll know it when I get to it. One thing I need to do when I get up here is I need to avoid a guardian. I'm not even seeing the guardian right now. Yeah, I think I may have gone too far in this direction. I probably want to be getting back over there. I had a moment of panic there, wondering if I had firewood or not, but I do. That's not the guardian that I'm worried about. That's an old decayed guardian. That's not active. The guardian that I was worried about has legs. Okay. There's actually a bunch of things we can do up here. If I go off to the side here, I'll be like right in front of Faron Tower, which I could do. But I hope I'm in the right place. Yep, here it is. And this is what I want to mark on my map. So I'm going to mark this on my map. This is the back door entrance. And I want to change bows. No, that bow will be... Wait, I'll do this bow. Oh. You have to aim just a little higher in order to get the arc right. There might be another one up here. Yep, there it is. I think I've got them. And I've got some electric key swings. All of those archery Koroks are really extremely helpful for the archery you have to do in this game. A lot of people are very dismissive of the Koroks. I'm not, because I found that the Koroks really help me with learning various skills, like how to aim for archery, which is very helpful when you get up to Eldon for that challenge up there. And then there's other things that you can do with Koroks as well that Koroks help with. But, of course, picking up a rock is not really one of them. And that's the one that people complain about. You know, I have to pick up all these rocks in order to get all these Koroks. Okay, so firewood. That's about right. Let's see if this gives me shelter. Yep, it gives me shelter. Okay, so what I'm going to want to do, I'm going to be showing you how to farm Farosh and get a whole bunch of dragon horns. Hopefully, I will succeed. Ooh, it looks like I got a scale instead of a horn. But that's the basic principle. It comes up at this time of the morning, immediately after you wake up from the fire, and you can shoot at the horn. And then light the fire again, and then repeat. Hopefully I'll hit the horn next time. It gives a nice bong when you do. There we go, that's a horn. And watch where it falls. It falls over there. And yesterday's horn, or yesterday's scale, I think, is still over there. So you, as long as you're here, it does not despawn. And now we have some over on the other side. But the ones from yesterday and the day before are still there. And I'm just going to do this until either my bow breaks or I run out of arrows. I only had about 20 arrows. And then we'll collect our winnings. I'm actually doing this a little bit early because I only have 1 ring of stamina plus 1 additional upgrade of stamina. And this is called bullet time, what I'm doing here. When you are up in the air and you pull out your bow, it freezes time, but you're limited by your stamina. So if you don't have a lot of stamina, you will not last long. By the way, this trick was discovered very early in the game, probably about 2 months after the game first dropped. A YouTuber discovered this trick, shared it with the world. I still use the cave. Some other people use a palm tree to sit under, but it's the same principle. And the palm tree apparently puts you even closer to Farosh than this. And it also shields you from the electricity that flies off of Farosh's body. One interesting little trivia bit is that, we know the Triforce from traditional Zelda games, and in this game, the 3 pools, this is not one of them, the three springs that the dragons are associated with, or you have to give the dragon horns, are the spring of wisdom, the spring of courage, and the spring of power. Farosh is associated with the spring of courage, and courage is associated with Link. So this is really, in some ways, Link's dragon, the dragon that's associated with Link. Wisdom is associated with Zelda, and power is associated with Ganon. But that does not make Dinraal a bad dragon. Just like all the dragons in this game, Dinraal is a protector of the land of Hyrule. Okay, so we're going to just do this until we run out of bow or run out of arrows. And then I'll show you how much we earned. You can see those green balls. That's Farosh's electricity. You don't want to be on the other end of that electricity, believe me. And he's not attacking you. He just has electricity flying off of him. What? There he goes. Must have been a difficult morning. He's a few minutes late. The reason that I use the golden bow is that it's a zoom bow, and so it's easier to locate the horn. Some people use the ancient bow, but I don't have the ancient bow yet. The ancient bow shoots in a straight line. It's really useful when you need to shoot a long distance. And we will be getting the ancient bow at some point, but not today. Oops. Eek. Yeah, I wasn't up in the air long enough, and this time I just got a scale. Oh! It looks like I have no more arrows. Yep, I have 0 arrows. So I'm going to wait for Farosh to leave the area because I don't want those green blobs. I don't want his electricity hitting me. He goes down and he has a path. This path actually kind of goes through... Oh, this is... I have now got some red choo-choo jelly. Red choo-choo jelly is a good thing. I will need that later on for upgrades of my armor. I can't remember what exactly it upgrades, but it upgrades something. So one of the things about Riola Spring is that you actually... Okay, shard of Farosh's horn. You actually can go down the waterfall and get to that shrine that's beeping right now. Yeah, that was Farosh's scale. I think that was the first one. Is there anything else over there? Nope. So this waterfall right here, I can actually go into a shrine from here. But I think what I'm going to do instead, you see where Farosh is right now? Farosh is going underneath the bridge down there. Eventually he makes his way over to Lake Hylia, which is where I first encountered him. He's kind of coming back in this direction, so I think I'm going to head back into the cave. Let's hope I don't get hit by electricity. May as well take advantage of the wind he generates. Okay. Now the reason I'm doing this instead of going the other direction and down the waterfall is that I think I can access the tower from here and open that tower. But this might... Oh, look. There's a Lionel right there. So yes, I'm pretty sure I'm in the right place. But that's not quite where I want to go. I'll see how far I can get without annoying the Lionel. I think I can do it. Now here, I just have to avoid annoying a Hinox, I think. Yeah, a blue Hinox. But I'm gonna grab some hardy durians while he's asleep, which is like always. I think these trees only have one hardy durian apiece. But really the hardy durian grove here is not my main goal right now. And I'm not going to go near him because I don't have any stealth. Oh, nice. A big hardy radish. Okay, let's see. I know that the tower, there's the tower. I see the tower now. Okay, and there's our friends, the the Lysels, who like to dance in front of the hardy durians. I may not make the jump all the way to the tower, so I'm going to put this on. Oh, but it looks like I'm going to make the jump with room to spare. Let's change. Rather than go excruciatingly slow. It's always best to come from the top on this tower, because if you don't, there are electric wizrobes down at the bottom, and unless you feel like fighting electric wizrobes, you really don't want to deal with that. There are 3 towers that have electric wizrobes around them, and we've actually done one. I think they're electric. There's some kind of wizrobes. The Woodland Tower. And once again, we went from the top on that one. We went up into the mountains and paraglided down. And there's also another one that we're going to do, which is the Ridgeland Tower. It has lots of wizrobes and electrical attacks and stuff. And what we're going to do there is we're going to get 100% electrical immunity before we even do it. And no, we're not going to get the rubber armor to do it. So stay tuned for that one. It's a very useful tip because a lot of people have no idea that they can do this. And these dragon horns that I just got will actually facilitate that. So let's see how many dragon horns we got anyway. We got 14. If I'd had more arrows, I could have gotten maybe about 30. And one of the reasons that you like to get into this area is because of that place where the Lysels are dancing. Hello, Lysels. Usually I go off to the side and they don't bother me at all, but they're going to sniff around me for a while. Unless they feel like dancing around their durians again. I think they like their durians better than they like figuring out who I am. So there are durians down here right across from Faron Tower. And of course, Faron is named after the dragon. There are durians up on the ledge right above me. And there's a Lionel on the ledge above that. Oh, and here's a Korok challenge. And here, you can see that we need to put a durian down. And yes, I will take the durians. I don't usually take the offerings, but these are durians, not apples. And durians, as we have seen, are a great resource. They're the reason that I have all those yellow hearts. Now they're going to start sniffing around me. So far, I haven't had any choo-choos pop up and give up the game. Let's see. You can actually get a lot more durians here than you can on Satori Mountain, or in the Faron region than on Satori Mountain. But Satori Mountain's a great place to start. And now, typical Faron weather, we're starting to get the rain. And I will need to change weapons. Let's go for the bones. And ironically, those are Lysel bones. Let's see, do I have anything else that... Oh yeah, my golden bow. I need to get a non-metal bow. And I just stole your durians. Fortunately, the towers are not one of the slick surfaces that you cannot climb. I usually like to go do that and jump off to the tower rather than just teleport out. It's a more dramatic exit. Oh, and let's change into the climber's bandana. It's 5:40 p.m. in the game. Ooh. 5:40 p.m. in the game, which means that pretty soon we'll start to get stall monsters coming out at night. I don't think I see a lot of keys in this area. This particular ledge has a bunch of mighty bananas, and these are great for doing a lot of attacks. So like if you need to be more powerful, you can always cook up mighty bananas. And there is a shrine nearby. Let's see though if the rain is gonna subside. Yep, it looks like it is. There's a Korok over there. I don't feel like going through the bottomless bog right now to get... Oh, well, why not? It's just... It's a pretty easy one. Yeah, but let's see how far you can throw. Apparently not far enough. They got me once, but... Okay, so there's more durians up here above the mighty bananas. It just saved. It makes me wonder if there's going to be an enemy come at me in just a minute. Okay. Okay, and another core oak takes a durian. So just for scale, we now have 26 durians just from coming over here, I think. I don't think we had any when we entered the Faron area. And there's our stable. And as always, where there is a stable, there is a shrine. And this shrine happens to be behind a breakable wall. Once again, I'm not going to do this shrine right now. One thing I am going to do is go back to the top of Faron Tower. What I'm wanting to do is get into this area over here. So that tower over there looks good. I'm gonna mark this tower over here. I mean, not tower, that shrine. Oh, and that's right by a stable. Okay, so I know what that is. And I'm going to mark that tower and head in that direction. What I really want to get to is the Spring of Courage. Because it's basically a free shrine. I've got a scale of Farosh, and I'm going to need to drop a scale of Farosh into the Spring of Courage. I hope I didn't say wisdom. It's the Spring of Courage. Okay. Cass is playing the accordion, so I know there's a Cass quest up here somewhere. But I haven't actually talked to him yet at a stable, and I would rather meet him that way. Ooh. Am I outside their territory? Looks like it. The forest dragon. That's what he's singing about. He's singing about the shrine that I'd like to find, but that's not the shrine that I'm hearing beep. Ooh, I don't want to get those guys after me. Well, this will be an interesting test of my early game abilities. It's one of the combat shrines. And I am going to get my ice arrows and get my best bow. And get my best expendable weapon. And change into my champion's tunic. And change into my climber's bandana. We're going to see if I can do this without having cooked up mighty bananas. I know that I can do it, but the question is whether I can do it right now. I think I can. Let's see. It's a minor test of strength. Yep. I was able to do it without even having any mighty bananas. I wish it had dropped something better, but let's see. Got a guardian sword. That'll definitely be better than a bokoblin arm. And that shield will definitely be better than a pot lid. Okay, let's see what I get. What are my winnings here? And then I'm going to open the tower and see if I can find out where the... Okay, this is going to be better than a... better than a breaking Lysel arm. The reason that I used the Edge of Duality rather than the Royal Claymore is that the Edge of Duality breaks a lot faster, and so I'd rather have something break here than out in the wild when I might have a team of enemies on top of me. Okay. Back into my disguise. Oh no. Gotta rescue somebody. If I can find her. I think it was a, yeah, it was a yellow pin. So I'm heading in the right direction. And now I'm in the Faron Woods. I've been in the Faron Woods before. I was in the Faron Woods in Skyward Sword. Which was my first linear Zelda game. I played it shortly after the trailer for Tears of the Kingdom came out because it was obvious that there was stuff in the sky. And so I wanted to see if there would be any tie-ins with earlier Zelda games. So my first Zelda game was literally Breath of the Wild. And I know that that skews me in some respects because a lot of people think it's not a real Zelda game. Which, I mean, I guess that would be the gatekeepers. But in my opinion, you know, it's very clear that it's dealing with the Triforce, which is a traditional Zelda element. You have at the very, very beginning, you actually see the memory of Zelda using the Triforce as she seals Ganon away. When King Rome gives you that memory. And in this game, of course, you have the 3 different springs, which represent the different parts of the Triforce. And there's a lot of callbacks in this game to earlier games. I mean, it even references Demise in the Ridgeland with some of the topography. I think it's called the Breach of Demise. And Demise is the original villain. I mean, not in terms of the chronology of when the games were made, but in the chronology of the games, in the chronology of the lore. Demise is really, I think, the origin point of Ganon. The original Demon King. And, you know, I learned a bunch of Zelda lore after playing Breath of the Wild. And then I was able to see where it was in the Breath of the Wild landscape. We've even got the Lon Lon Ranch in this game. It's the ranch ruins. And that's not just speculation. People have actually gone through and shown the Lon Lon Ranch landmarks at the ranch ruins. The Lon Lon Ranch, of course, is where you first meet Epona, whom I have not spawned in this game. Okay, now I can see where I need to go. Okay, so I'm really near Lake Hylia right now. There's Dale Lake. And here's Dracozu Lake. And somewhere in Dracozu Lake is the Spring of Wisdom, and I think it's back here. And it does have something of a dragon's head, and then the dragon's body. The water represents the dragon's body. And Cass will sing about it. He will give me that shrine quest, but I will probably do the shrine before I do the quest. So in fact, I'm going to see how far I can go in that direction. By the way, I'm pretty sure we now have half of the map filled in. Or I should say the bottom half of the map filled in. Okay. Well, we made it over here, which is actually, I think it's just right off the Great Plateau. In Tears of the Kingdom, there's a big geoglyph right around here. I think it may actually be the same location. Let's see. No, it would be closer to, actually it would be up here, I think. Or over here, because it's right near the Great Plateau. And so the geoglyph would have to be over on the other side. Oh well, it just looks like the same landscape. In Tears of the Kingdom, the geoglyphs are memory locations. The memory locations are different here in Breath of the Wild. They're related to the photographs that Zelda took 100 years ago. And the memory locations in Tears of the Kingdom are not related to Link's memories. He's not trying to recover his memories. And I'm not going to say more about that so as to avoid spoilers. But if you play Tears of the Kingdom, you definitely want to check out the big geoglyphs. They're really cool. So Lake Hylia, which we can see from right here, the bridge is the bridge over Lake Hylia. Lake Hylia is one of the other locations that Farosh goes through. In fact, the first time I met Farosh, it was like right over here at the beginning of the bridge, and I saw him and heard that music, and I was just in awe. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. So I just stood there and watched and listened. Is that my statue? That's my statue. So let's see what Hylia will say if I pray. Nothing. You've done well to find this spring. Oh, she will tell me to offer ferocious scale, receive from the golden spirit to the spring of courage. So she does tell me that I'm at the spring of courage. I, goddess Hylia, will guide you. Okay. So let's offer that scale. I figured this is such an easy shrine to complete. I may as well do it while I'm in this area. I mean, I already had the one thing I needed in order to complete the shrine. And now she's guiding me. The path has shown itself. And yes, I will enter this shrine. By entering this place, you've already proven your worth. So I don't actually need to do anything else to complete the shrine. Oh, nice. My inventory's full, but hey, I don't really have that many good weapons, so let's dump this one. It'll be nice to have a thunder spear. Okay, so the main purpose of farming Farosh and doing these related things was to upgrade the champion's tunic. And I believe that the first upgrade is Farosh's horn. Let me see what I've got in the way of... I've got 6 silent princesses. I hope that's enough. But even if it's not, I can gather more. Okay. So, where we want to go is Kakariko Village. Because that's the only shrine, that's the only fairy fountain I have open right now. I guess I was running a little too fast for the bloopy. I will try to be a little more stealthy. Maybe I'll get another shot. Actually, I don't have any arrows. And I'm not going to use a fire arrow. I mean, an ice arrow to get just a little bit of just to get a rupee or two. Let's see what she wants for... Oh, I cannot upgrade yet. Okay. What I need to do instead is I need to go to a vendor and sell a bunch of stuff. So that I've got 1,000 rupees. And then I need to go to the other fairy fountain that we visited and open that. Because she cannot upgrade my armor without having another one of her sisters available. So let's go into the store here. Clothing store. Okay. I'm going to sell 5 of them right now. That will give me more than enough money to open the fairy fountain. Well, I'm glad you like buying. I'm also gonna use the cooking pot over here and not do this side quest right now. But let's see what happens if I stick 3 zap shrooms together with a dragon horn. I have 30 minutes of complete electrical immunity. So I will not suffer any attacks for the 30 minutes that this is operable, which means, of course, that I want to do things that are electric focused after I actually eat that. So let's see, where can we get? We need to go to the Tabantha Tower. I went for that area first because I went for that rock first because sometimes the winds can get pretty incredible around here. Okay, there's not a second one over here. And it looks like there's no silent princesses around. Lots of mighty thistles. This is Kesa. Okay, she needs 500 rupees. Her next sister will need 1,000 rupees. And I've got the money. these fairies. They're always hitting on me. Or hitting on Link. Link is cute when he's blushing. Okay. Yes, okay. It looks like I have enough to enhance the champion's tunic. I need 3 silent princesses and shard of Farosh's horn. And I've got that. Okay, so now it's at level 14. Yeah, go ahead. So my climber's bandana can also be brought up to 5. Okay. So if I want to enhance the champion's tunic again, I have to open another fairy fountain. But right now, I have a defense of 22. That is a substantial increase over what I had. So I'm now a little bit better equipped to handle enemies. And let's see what we can do here. I'm going to go back up. Oh, right. There's a lot of luminous stones here. And even though I don't have a sledgehammer, which is actually what I prefer, I can drop a bomb. I don't think I've ever had one fall completely off of the mountain onto the path below, so I think I'm pretty safe using bombs, but the reason I prefer sledgehammers is because I know where the pieces are going to end up. So where did that one end up? Heard a big clunk. There's a little piece of luminous stone. Oh, and there's flint. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything fell down. So let's go back up to Tabantha Tower and let's try Dinraal again. Yesterday we were able to get a scale from Dinraal. It looks like we're about to have a blood moon too. A lot of players get upset about the blood moon, and me, I think it's great. Because it respawns stuff. And that's the reason people don't like it. But it is the reason that I do like it. So I'm going to go for the red area over here. It will probably respawn those weapons in the cave in Gerudo. It will probably respawn the claymore on top of Woodland Tower. I know that technically speaking, the diamond does not respawn with the blood moon, but it does have a tendency to appear after a blood moon. If you've been away from Satori Mountain long enough. I don't think that the dead Lysels have a spit attack, which is nice. Oh, this was a bad move. I wasn't actually supposed to do that.
The blood moon rises once again. Please be careful.
Looks like I might actually find a shrine rather than get to my preferred destination. I made a jump too early. Oh, and there's Dinraal. That's who we want. But we're not in the right place. Yeah. He looks so impressive, though. I like him, you know, from the underside with his belly, his red belly. And like I said, this is the dragon that is associated with the Spring of Power. And the Spring of Power is associated with, well, let's just put it this way. The power element in the Triforce is associated with Ganon. So somebody's telling me about cheap viewers. Sorry, I would rather have real viewers. Not that I have a load of real viewers yet, but people are actually responding to these clips on YouTube, especially the Breath of the Wild clips. There it is. So I didn't catch up with Dinraal, but I did find a shrine. Let's see what this one does. I'm going to go in here and see what it does. Took me a minute to figure out what they were asking me to do. If this turns out to be a very long and complicated shrine, which it may, then I will come back to it later. But at least I got past the first part. Oh, I think I know this shrine. Yeah. Nice. A great Thunderblade. Okay, that's a great weapon. What am I gonna ditch this time? How about that? I am not limited. I'm not limited to that number of inventory slots. I just have to go back and find Hestu and get more inventory. Okay, so what I need to do here is I need to make that thing fall down. I don't know if I can do it with a bomb arrow. I think I'm supposed to shoot one of these barrels at it. Nope. that didn't do anything. It's funny because I've done this shrine at least 3 times before. And I think I blank on the solution. Maybe I need to stack these. Yeah. Let's go do something else. We've only got a few minutes left anyway. And we didn't do as many dragons as I would have liked. But at least we've got this shrine here. And I'm going to go back to the Woodland Tower. Obviously, I cannot get the sword right now because it's raining. But that wasn't really my plan anyway. I was going to go over into Eldon. See if I can open that tower. And if I can open the tower, then I can get over near Akala and open that fairy fountain. I'm not going to be opening Akala Tower just yet. Let's see. I've got it marked. No, that's Akala Tower that's marked. I think it's over here somewhere. Stay out of the way of those birds. They're just as bad as the mountain goats. I think I see the tower, and I think it's almost exactly where I put the pin. Yep. Oops. Looks like I can't get there from this direction. Okay. I know that I'm actually supposed to be ending the stream right now, but I want to close with something that I can actually accomplish, rather than end with something that I was not successful at accomplishing. And one of the things that I know I can accomplish is I can open up Lanayru Tower. And opening up Lanayru Tower gives me a pretty easy path to Eldon Tower. And Eldon Tower makes it a lot easier to get into Akala. So I will probably be doing that next time. But right now, I'm focused on this tower right over here. And I can probably do a shrine right after I open that, because there's another minor test of strength shrine. And yeah, they're going to want me to do some stuff for them, but I'm going to ignore them for a while. When I say them, I mean the Zora people. This is in the Zora area, Zora's domain. And I'm going to ignore them for a while because I have other things I want to do first. The chance of it raining in Zora's domain is much higher than 0. I can't believe I escaped that. He was like pointed right at me. Okay, I'm going to change into Majora's Mask. Because there's a lot of enemies right here. There's a bunch of places where boulders just sort of randomly fall down on you. In Tears of the Kingdom, they actually have a monster that shoots boulders. But in Breath of the Wild, I always thought that it was just some sort of random supernatural Ganon power. Sounds like a bokoblin is attacking a Hylian or something. But hey, we've made it to the top. We've made it to the tower. Almost the top. Well, not almost the top yet, but we'll get there soon. By the way, there's an ice wizrobe down there. You can see it dancing around. I don't have anything right now to avoid its attacks, but I do know how to kill it really fast if I can get to a high place. But I'm not going to do that here. Yeah, there's a Zora who's a little too high up, but I'm not going to talk to him right now. Where I want to be is that shrine right there. Hello, Zora person. Okay, so we did this. It's another one of these combat trials. A minor test of strength. So I'm going to get on my edge of duality again. And I am going to get my ice arrows again. And is there anything else I need? No, I think I'm... Oh! Why not? Let's equip a guardian shield. That's better against ancient stuff. Yeah, I don't think I lost any health in that. Maybe just a little bit at the very beginning when he was... So let's see what shield I can drop. I can drop the Traveler's Shield. Pick up another Guardian Shield. I do actually use one-handed weapons in this game, but I prefer two-handed weapons in the Test of Strength shrines. Although, actually, I should be using these Guardian swords in the Test of Strength, and I have 3 of them. Oh, nice. A knight's bow. Okay, what can I ditch? Traveler's bow. Okay.
Oh.
What I want to do is get to a stable before I shut down. That means I will probably have to save a Hylian along the way. And I know that there is a Wizrobe up here somewhere that I have to avoid. And another Wizrobe ahead by that shrine up on the hill that I can probably kill. You can actually see the stable in the distance. I need to make a purchase at that stable. And I think I'm on the road to Akala, to be honest. But I want to get to that stable. And there's the Wizrobe. Yep, this is where I usually am. Wow, fire choo-choos. If I hit them with a regular sword, I would get red choo-choo jelly. I got red choo-choo jelly the other way. I hit regular choo-choos with a fire sword. Works either way. No, I am not talking to you, traveler. Moblins. Even if I wore Majora's Mask, it would not solve the problem of stall monsters. They will always recognize me. So those stall moblins, they would still recognize me. I'm gonna open up this shrine. I'm not going to do it right now because I am going to be shutting down in a minute after I do a couple of little things. But I'm pretty sure this is one of the ones that I can easily do and finish off my cycle of 4 spirit orbs. And I am going to get a fire arrow here. And kill this Wizrobe. Fire versus ice, ice versus fire. And I want to talk to this person at the stable.
Yeah.
Yep, heading towards Goron City. Not really, but... Ha! I kind of like you, so I guess I have no choice but to make some money from you. She wants to sell me fireproof elixirs. They can protect me from burning. As we saw when I tried to go that other way, without any fireproof elixirs, there was no way I could do it without burning. So she's actually not she's not telling a lie here. I actually do need these. And I will take all 3 of them because I need them later on. I don't really need them right now because, to be honest, right now I am just going to go open the tower, and I can open the tower without using a fireproof elixir, but I will be opening that tower tomorrow and then heading on into Akala for the another fairy fountain, and then I will go get Dinraal's horn, I hope. I've had 3 abortive attempts at getting Dinraal's horn, so hopefully the next attempt will work. And tomorrow morning at 11, I plan to be back and streaming Skyrim again, and we'll be focusing on the Mages College quests. And hopefully we will get through Mazulft and maybe even make it all the way to Labyrinthian. So I hope you'll be back and hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye.